Mr. Lewis, you say for 35 years you've always known you were Miss Scott's biological father, but circumstances kept you away. You claim the DNA results will prove you are Crystal Scott's dad. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Scott, you claim you are Crystal's biological father. You were at her birth, raised her from day one, and are still legally married to her mother. You say the results will prove you are Crystal's dad. Is that correct?
Yes.
Mr. Scott, you've been a father to your daughter.
Yes, Your Honor, I have.
And you believed she was your daughter.
No ifs, no ands about it.
You were married to her mother.
Yes.
Her mother is your wife.
Exactly.
Still is your wife.
Still is.
So, Mr. Lewis.
Yes.
What was the nature of the relationship you had with Miss Scott's mother?
Well, Miss Scott and I had met, and we got into a relationship. We both, I was in love with her, and I believed she was in love with me. I was an unhappy man. She was an unhappy wife.
So you knew she was married?
I knew she was married. Exactly.
And you said you were an unhappy man.
I was unhappy.
Were you an unhappy man or an unhappy husband?
I was an unhappy husband. And
okay.
So we became involved, and we had probably an 8-year relationship. She told me that at 7 months, she asked me, who do you think this child is? I said, well, it's your husband. She said, no, it's yours. And I was stunned, but I believed her from that moment because she, to me, in my opinion, she was the type of woman, she wouldn't come to me and just make up something or say something like that. She was a good woman. She still is, I believe. And
so to be clear, you had an 8-year affair with this man's wife.
I did.
After you all broke up, you just didn't pursue this. Why didn't you pursue this? I have to ask this question. This is what Miss Scott was just saying. Like, once you knew, once she told you definitively, this is your daughter, then where are you in this? Why are you not pursuing it? Why not that extra step?
We broke up, but that is true. And I thought about all those things that you're seeing right there, you know. But then I also thought about the harm it would do. What it's going to be, what's going to come after that, you know? Him and I are going to get into it. One of us go to graveyard, one of us go to prison. So I said, just let this play out the way it's going to play out, however. Now, it hurts. It hurted me because, you know, I know that I have a child that I can't go out and tell the world this is my child.
Mr. Scott, how does this feel to stand in this courtroom and listen to this man say he was with your wife for 8 years, that she told him immediately that Crystal was his biological child, that they would meet up at stores and he would buy her toys, and you didn't know any of this?
She is still my daughter, just regardless of what. She is mine. I don't care what he think. I don't care what he feel. She is mine because I raised her. And by the way, and since he's talking about what I was gonna do to him, I never planned to do nothing to him. But Your Honor, from my heart, it's the truth. I've been knowing him a long time myself, and he knew I have.
The biological father is Mr. Lewis.
Okay. Brother Lewis, I don't hate you. I don't fault you. It's my wife. You can't do no more than what she did. And I know that.
And I would like to apologize to you. In my opinion, I still believe that her mom is a great mom. We both made a mistake. Crystal, I love you. I'm sorry that you were placed in this situation. You are my daughter. I've always believed it. And hopefully we can move on forward from there. And
while I appreciate, gentlemen, this beautiful moment where you acknowledge one another, I'm just incredibly disappointed that all the focus is not on Crystal. It's just not about y'all anymore.
It's not about what Mama did. It's not about
what he did.
It's not about that.
And take a moment because I want you to have your say. Because this is for you and your children.
I'm glad I got the results, but then I'm thinking in my head, now where do I go from here? It hurt me when I was talking to a family member last night, and I was telling her, I said, you know, you think of your family as your family. You know, you don't think as people as half this. And she was saying, well, I'm not half, I'm whole. But in the back of my mind, they're not, and it hurts.
But Mr. Scott and Mr. Lewis, I'm concerned now about what Crystal said. And I need you all to be concerned about that too.
Well, I am. I am concerned about it.
And I need you to be there for her. And sometimes that means, as a parent, putting your feelings aside. That's what it takes. Because right now, she's standing there with tears coming down her face, and both y'all looking at me.
I'd like to say I'm sorry, very sorry. Please, may I give you a hug? I love you.
Ms. Wisniewski, you claim that both of your parents are the reason you grew up in a very unstable home. You say that your mother, Ms. Cortez, was extremely promiscuous and she pushed away your alleged father when you were very young. You also say you've never been sure that Mr. Wisniewski, who is joining us today from his hometown, is your biological father. You claim you've waited 25 years to get that answer and will finally learn the truth today. Mrs. Cortez, you argue that it wasn't your behavior that pushed your daughter's alleged father away, but instead it was his fault that she had a tumultuous childhood. You say he never believed he was the father, and you had to force him to take responsibility for her. Now, Mr. Wisniewski, you claim you are not Ms. Wisniewski's biological father and say you left her mother because she slept around. You also say you believe your alleged daughter's desire to name you as father is financially motivated. Now, Ms. Wisniewski, please explain to the court why you are blaming your mother and alleged father for why you're here today.
My mother was a whore when she was with my dad, and she slept around, and that's the reason why my mom and my so-called father had broken up. And I want to know who my dad is, because I don't know who he is. If this is my dad, or another Jim was my dad. My mom's been with several other Jims in my life, and it's confused me from growing up.
Please explain to us the circumstances as to why this beautiful young woman doesn't know who her father is.
Because I made mistakes, and yes, I did have an affair, but he also had affairs.
So now, Mr. Wisniewski, can you please explain why you doubt?
I have doubts because while we were together, I was in the military and went ahead and, you know, I don't mind people buying drinks for ladies in bars free and stuff like that anyway, because that's what they do. Bottom line being is that she's an alcoholic. Here she is in a bar, hitting up people for drinks. Then I would have people showing up to my house, knocking on my door, asking, where's Sharon? And I'd always play it off as
I don't.
Excuse
that's
me,
a,
I'm
that's
talking.
a lie.
I'm talking.
Your Honor.
Quiet.
Just one second,
No.
just one second. Now, we need
This
you
is
all
my
to
turn.
speak one at a time. Mr. Wisniewski, please continue. And you
I would
felt
go
doubtful
ahead.
because of Mrs. Cortez's actions.
Yeah, I definitely do because of I had people actually coming over to my house, knocking on my door, and then I would turn around and I would say, "Excuse me." I play it off like I was the roommate instead of actually her husband.
You would act like you were her roommate.
Yeah, and then I'd find out names, and people would be coming on over, and
Ms. Cortez, is this true?
No.
Please.
That part is not true. The part about the
tell
bar.
us what is the truth,
The
as you see
part
it.
about the bar is true, but that was a setup because I was more or less was a drink hustler, not a man hustler, because I like to drink. And
But you do admit to having infidelities.
Specifically, what happened was on the way home from work one night, we were having an argument, and he threw me out of the car. It was late
hey,
at night.
wait a minute, you're supposed to be
And
Christian. You shouldn't be lying.
I had
I've
somebody
never thrown you
pick
up.
me up because they saw me crying and very upset.
Was it a stranger or someone you knew?
I didn't know that person.
Okay. And then what happened?
Just
We
a
got to
whore.
know each other, and they.
that's part of the consoling?
Yeah, and it's not an oh either.
What
we
is
got
it?
to know each other, and then, I had an affair, and that was a one-time thing with him.
So
One-time thing, it was 7 years.
that would be why Mr. Wisniewski has doubts. Am I correct?
Correct.
You wrote a letter to your parents.
Yes, I
and
did,
you submitted it to
actually.
the court. Do you have that letter?
Yes, I do, Your Honor. May I read
Can
it?
you read that, please?
Yes. Dear so-called parents, it's been over 20 years since I have been able to talk to both of you at the same time. My whole life I've been suffering from your stupid and selfish decisions. I want to tell you how much you have hurt me, and all I wanted was to be loved and accepted. I wish that you would understand the pain of being thrown away like trash. I wish you could, one day be in my shoes. Mom, I blame you for Jim leaving. And I could care less if you're even in my life. I don't even want you in it, actually. I live better without you. I'm happy to know that I'll never be like any of you. Because I'm a better person than that.
In the case of Wisniewski versus Cortez Wisniewski, when it comes to the paternity of Christina Wisniewski, Mr. Wisniewski, you are her father.
So, what now? What are you gonna do now? Are you gonna come over for Christmas and, try to play makeup or what,
But you can blame your mom for doing this. I
No,
mean, I didn't want to.
Hold on, Mr. Wisniewski. Now, I'm tired of hearing about Mrs. Cortez now, because at this point, that's done. It is the opinion of this court, is that you need to find a way to love your daughter more than you dislike Mrs. Cortez. Because every time we talk about the issues with your daughter, how to mend them, the fact that she wants you in her life, you come up talking about Mrs. Cortez. You're divorced now. It's done. Can you be a father to her?
My hands are open. My heart's open to her. She's walking down to my house anytime. Very sorry that you had to go through the 25, 26 years of all this. I will be there for you till the day I die, or you die, whichever comes first. I'll be there for you.
I don't think he meant that humorously. I think he meant that he will be there for you.
For life till,
hope so.
like
Now,
a marriage.
Mrs. Cortez, how does that feel?
It's
Your
about
Honor?
time, Your Honor.
Now, Ms. Wisniewski, I'm so happy because now you have the truth. See, now you're not coming in here saying, this person lied to me, they're selfish. You know what, Ms. Wisniewski? They were. But you want your child to have the benefit of knowing its grandparents. You want your child to have what you didn't. And that's going to require you to do some forgiving as well.
Your Honor, can I hug my daughter?
Court is adjourned. Yes, you may hug your daughter. Ms. Palmer, you are appearing today in court with your identical twin sister, petitioning the court for a paternity test to prove the defendant is your biological father. You claim you and your twin are both seeking results of the test, but have very different hopes for the results and for the future. Mr. Palmer, you argue that it is impossible for you to be the biological father of the Palmer twins. You actually recall their mother being 3 months pregnant when you met her. You say you feel badly that the girls have believed you are their father for all of these years, but claim you know the truth, and it's time they faced it as well.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, how do you feel that the man you believe to be your father all these years denies you?
Your Honor, I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted that this is the first time I'm seeing my father in 20 years. I remember seeing him when I was 6 years old. I was playing in the backyard with my sister's father, and I ran to the front of the yard, and so happened he pulls up. Hey, twins. We run up. Hi, Dad.
Your Honor,
And he zoomed off.
Your
I
Honor,
remember at
I don't
8 years
know none of
old,
that.
him coming, him popping up to my grandmother's house. My grandmother has been in the same spot for 40 years. He always knew where we were at. He
Your
popped
Honor,
up.
that's-
Hey,
I
twins
don't know
again.
none of that.
We talked to him for hours,
all.
and we didn't see him after that. The last time we seen him, we were 11 years old. He said I looked just like him. We were identical to him. And now today,
Mr.
he's saying
Palmer,
that we're
what do
not
you have
his
to
kids.
say to this?
I don't recall none of, don't know none of it. It never happened.
So are you honestly saying that you've never seen us before?
Never saw you.
Are you honestly saying
Never
Mr.
saw you.
Palmer, you say
that's
you're looking at
appalling.
these two
Looking at
ladies
them,
and
just
you've
like
never
'em.
seen them?
looking at them
They
plain
look
and
just
clear.
like 'em.
No song.
Oh my goodness. That's unbelievable.
Jerome, please hand me
What
Mr.
is that?
When
Palmer's
I met
evidence.
her in March.
A piece of paper up that he got in his hand?
Are those the ultrasound pictures that he kept?
What you're saying is you met their mother in March
You see those babies and you didn't want
of
to be a part of their life?
1981.
Looking just like you.
And Maisha and Naisha were born
Ain't that
September 14th. Count back 6 months later.
6 months.
And therefore you say it's impossible that you are their father.
It's impossible. I have 10 kids.
You have 10 kids.
I have 10 kids.
And now you may have 12?
And,
Yes,
and I
he
got
does
one
have
that's
12.
4 years
Papa
old.
was a Rolling Stone.
The only one that I ever had a DNA done on. And that was because I asked for it because I was 60 years old and had a baby.
Still having
And-
kids.
Oh, yes.
Still having them.
My daddy had 32.
Whoa! We've been having testimony and discussion concerning the twins here.
Yes, ma'am.
Maisha and Naisha. They contend that your father is in fact their father as well.
Yes,
What do you know about this situation?
Well, I've always known about the girls. You know, I've always heard through family members about the girls, but I've never been able to see them or confirm with them that, you know, they're my blood. I actually, since we share the same last name, I claim them as my sisters. I always say what about the twins or things like that.
Wow.
And we heard that he wanted to
But
meet
your
us a long time
father
ago.
says he's never laid eyes on these two women in his life till today.
I mean, I've never laid eyes on them either. This is my first time seeing them. And he's always been consistent with his story. He's never veered from his story.
So you've never seen the twins before in your life?
Never.
But as you've heard about them, since they had your same last name and it was rumored that they were your father's children,
And
you
anything
just
is possible.
accepted them.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're a very close-knit group, family. And if, you know...
How
and
y'all
they-
so close-knit and he not accepting us?
I mean, that man has his story, and until he's confirmed,
Yes,
you know, until
lie.
something's confirmed different,
He's
I can't
lied.
see him
He's lied to his
veering
family,
off
and
of that.
he got to stick to that
But
lie.
he's always been there for his children.
In the case of Palmer versus Palmer, when it comes to 31-year-old identical twins, Maisha and Naisha Palmer, Mr. Palmer, you are their father.
I'm sorry.
Whoa.
I'm sorry.
Whoa. Whoa.
No.
Whoa, Dad.
31
You
years.
genuinely look
31
surprised.
years. That's crazy.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to meet you too. I love you, man.
You genuinely look surprised, Mr. Palmer, and emotional. How do you feel?
Wow.
That's hippie.
Because he would have been there. He would
Without
have
a
been there.
doubt. Without a doubt.
We all would have been there.
Can you explain to the court what's going through your head right now?
What's going through in here? I was told that she's pregnant. I was told by her she's pregnant. And then to come back and tell me that she's pregnant by me, don't never do that to a man.
This man's still sitting
Never.
here lying. This
Don't
man
do
is
that.
still sitting here lying instead of being a man and just telling his family that he made a mistake. He got a young woman pregnant. You had kids by her. You should have been there. Excuse
Oh,
me.
watch
and
your
you wasn't.
language.
We're all adults now. Why would he have a reason to continue to lie? It's not
And he's
gonna
still
hurt us
lying.
now.
And he's
It's not
still
gonna hurt us
lying.
now.
Take it from this point.
Listen, This court is about not only finding out the truth, it's finding out the truth so you can figure out how to move forward. Can you, as a family, now that you know the truth, figure out how to get to know one another? Mr. Palmer, would you like to do that with your girls?
Oh, my door is open. I'll let you know.
Miss Tucker, you believed another man was your dad until a bomb was dropped on you 10 years ago when your mother admitted that the defendant is your biological father. You opened your case to prove to Mr. Hunter that he is your dad. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Hunter, you admit you have distanced yourself from the plaintiff because you have serious doubts you are her father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Tucker, you admit you initially lied to your daughter, but claim you and Mr. Hunter have always known that he is her father. Is that
Yes, Your
correct?
Honor.
So, Miss Tucker, I'll start with you. Explain why you opened your case.
I opened my case because for these last few years, I have been trying to get Charles to do a DNA test with me. Twice I scheduled a test, he didn't show up. And it's just a lot of confusion in my own mind, and it's very traumatic to me. I'm trying to figure out if he's my father or not to close this chapter in my life.
And so when did you find out that he may not be your biological father?
I was in the 5th grade, and his sister had came and got me one weekend like she always did. And they were on the phone, and I was over listening to their conversation with her telling him that he needed to come around and he needed to meet me. She believed that I was his daughter. And I walked in and I asked, was that him on the phone? And she said yes. She gave me the phone. And it was my first time ever talking to him. I was really excited. But I wanted to know, where was he? Why was he not around? And that's when he told me that my mom was not being honest with me. And he knew I wasn't his daughter.
And over the phone?
Mm-hmm.
And how old were you when this happened?
I was in the 5th grade.
Whoa. Miss Tucker, when does your mom finally admit to you she believes Mr. Hunter is your biological father?
I was 23. And we were in the car with my aunt, and they have they're a loving relationship, but my aunt's very vocal. And I just was talking about some things that I wanted to do, and my aunt made the comment to my mom that she had not been truthful to me about who my dad was, and she needed to tell me the truth. And my mom looked like she just looked like my aunt better keep her mouth shut.
Oh.
Yeah. And so I'm in the back seat, and I'm looking at my mom, and I'm looking at my aunt, and I'm like, Mom, what is she talking about? And my mom is like, you better be quiet, you better not. And that's when my aunt told me that he was my father. Yeah.
So your aunt actually submitted a statement to the court.
Mm-hmm.
It reads, my sister confessed to me that Charles was Adriana's father, but at the time she wanted nothing to do with Charles. So, Mr. Hunter, have you ever thought and said to yourself, what did I do to her? Why am I the person that she wouldn't tell? And the whole town, my mother might know, her sister might know, my family might know. How are you the only one that don't know?
Did it have something to do with another situation that we were in that she was mad about?
What situation? We here now. I mean, I could see the look on your face right now. I know it's got to be something else. What's the situation?
Well, I had met a young lady, and come to find out it was Adrian's sister. And I thought that she was mad about that.
So you slept with her sister. When it comes to 30-year-old Adriana Tucker, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Hunter, you are not the father. I'm sorry, Adriana.
It's okay. I just wanted answers so that I don't have to keep interrupting his life or, keep going through this in my own life. So, yeah.
I'm very sorry. I was hoping to be able to give you the closure you deserve.
Yes.
But I do have to ask you, Miss Tucker, if you say the other man was not the father and Mr. Hunter was, and now we found out Mr. Hunter is not, who is your daughter's biological father?
It has to be the other guy, because it was just them two. I'm not that girl, so between them, it has to be the other one then.